I found the first letter on a Tuesday. It didn't come in the mail, not really. It was just there. In our mailbox, no stamp, no postmark, no return address. Just our names written in a child's handwriting, Mara and Eli. Inside, on a single sheet of folded notebook paper, was this. Hi, Mom and Dad. You don't know me yet, but I'm your son. I'm writing from the future. I just wanted to say thank you. You're doing everything right. I'll see you soon. Love, me. We laughed at first. We thought it was a prank. Maybe one of the neighborhood kids had slipped it in. It was cute, innocent. We saved it on the fridge for fun. The second letter arrived a week later. This time it was inside the house. I found it on the kitchen counter beside the coffee pot. No one had been in. No signs of a break-in. Nothing stolen. The doors were locked. We had no cameras, but we were always careful. Still, there it was. Hi again. Mara, your headaches are from the water. It's the pipes. Don't drink it anymore. Eli, bring an umbrella on Thursday. You'll need it. I love you. Gunima. Mara had been having migraines for weeks. Her doctor thought it was stress, maybe hormones, but she stopped drinking the tap water and switched to bottled. Within 3 days, the headaches vanished. Thursday brought an unexpected hailstorm. Everyone at the office was drenched. I was dry. After that, we stopped laughing. We didn't talk about it at first. We just obeyed quietly, unsure why. The letters were always right, helpful, loving. They felt real. They started arriving regularly. The third letter told us not to attend a birthday party we'd RSVP'd 2 weeks before. It was vague. Please don't go to the party on Saturday. Something bad will happen, but you'll be safe if you stay home. I promise. We stayed home. The next day, the news reported a carbon monoxide leak at the event hall. Several people were hospitalized. One person died. The following letter said, "Thank you. That would have been very bad for us." We started saving every letter. They felt sacred. They always came when we were alone, always in strange places, under pillows, inside cupboards, once even inside the fridge, folded neatly between 2 cartons of eggs. Each note felt warmer, more intimate, more personal. They began using our childhood stories, ones we'd only ever shared in whispers. Mom, remember the pink shoes you buried in the woods behind Grandma's house? I found them. They were still there. Thank you. Mara burst into tears. She hadn't thought of those shoes in 20 years. Dad, the letter you wrote to your grandpa before he died. He read it, he says thank you. My knees buckled. I had burned that letter before ever sending it. Then the warnings began. They were subtle at first. Don't answer Aunt Lydia's calls anymore. She doesn't believe in me. She's going to make you forget. We ignored that one. Lydia came to visit the next week. She walked through our house, sat on our couch, and said she felt something wrong in the air. She kept asking if we were okay, if we were sleeping, if we were eating. She left us a dream catcher and told Mara to wear lavender on her wrists. The letter that night said, she saw too much. You have to be careful. 2 days later, Lydia's car crashed on a mountain road. She survived, but she was in a coma for 2 weeks. We never called her again. By the time the pregnancy test came back positive, we didn't question it. It didn't matter that we hadn't planned for children. It didn't matter that I'd had a vasectomy 5 years earlier. Miracle? Mara whispered. Destiny, I said. We held hands in the kitchen, trembling. The house felt too still. Outside, the wind stopped. The letter was already on the counter. He's coming. Thank you for making it possible. The letters became more frequent, more urgent. Don't trust the man with the dog who walks. Past at 8:15, he's watching us. Don't let the doctor touch Mom's stomach. He'll feel something he's not supposed to. Don't look into the mirror for too long. We didn't know what that meant, but after a while we couldn't. Our reflections began to move out of sync. The pregnancy progressed rapidly. By what should have been week 12, Mara looked full term. She didn't gain weight. Her skin remained smooth, flawless, but her stomach grew, and the skin over it pulsed faintly, like something underneath was testing the boundaries. She didn't sleep much. When she did, she murmured in a language I didn't recognize. The letters still addressed us lovingly. You're both doing so well. I'm so proud of you. Don't listen to anyone else. They'll try to keep us apart. You have to protect me. We're almost ready. Then came the letter about Mr. Halberd, our neighbor. He knows. He's been watching you. He's going to ruin everything. "You have to stop him." We were scared. We believed it. Halbert had always been nosy, sure, but lately, he had been stopping by more. Asking strange questions. "You folks expecting? You look different. This house. Something about it feels wrong now." The next note said, "He's lying. He always has. He hurt children once. He'd hurt me too. Do what you need to do." Mara convinced me to confront him. It wasn't supposed to happen like it did, but it did. Halbert fell down the stairs. His neck broke. We didn't call the police. We buried him under the garden shed. We found a letter in the soil the next morning. "Thank you. He won't interfere anymore." Mara went into labor that night. That's when the sky turned black. Not cloudy, not stormy. Just black, like someone had painted over the sky with tar and forgot to leave room for the stars. The power flickered once, then died. Every light, every outlet. My phone screen refused to turn on, even with a full charge. The clocks froze at 11:44. Outside the window, there were no streetlights, no moonlight. Just a black wall where the world used to be. Even sound felt muffled, like we were wrapped in cotton. Mara screamed. It wasn't a cry of pain. It was something else. Her voice didn't echo. It seemed to collapse in on itself. The sound falling flat in the air like it wasn't allowed to leave the room. And then it stopped. Her eyes rolled back. Her mouth hung open, and from her lips came a voice that wasn't hers. Not deep, not monstrous, just wrong. Like 100 whispers trying to form one word. I leaned close, trying to understand. She convulsed once, twice, then went completely still. Her stomach bulged and contracted in slow, rhythmic pulses. Something was moving beneath the skin, not kicking, shifting, like it was stretching, unfolding. I backed away. The room felt hotter by the second. The walls pulsed with a dull red hue, as if lit from behind veins. The floor vibrated beneath my feet in perfect sync with Mara's breaths. Deep, dragging, unnatural. There was no blood, no contractions, just silence and movement. Then came the sound, a high-pitched whine like metal scraping against bone. Came from Mara's mouth, eyes, fingertips. Her skin began to glow, and just as quickly it stopped. Her belly went still. Her eyes fluttered open. She looked at me, really looked at me, and smiled. "It's okay now," she said. I dropped to my knees beside her. The glow in her skin faded, and then slowly, impossibly, she reached down and pulled something out of herself. Not screaming, not shaking, calm, serene. What she held was not a baby. It was shaped like one, sure, but the proportions were wrong. Limbs too long, eyes too large, skin smooth and translucent like polished stone. It blinked at me. Its mouth opened into a crooked smile. And God help me. I smiled back. We didn't sleep that night. Not because we were afraid. Because the baby, our son, didn't want us to. He didn't cry. He didn't fuss. He just stared, wide-eyed. From the little nest of blankets we laid him in on the living room floor. His eyes never closed, not once. He doesn't blink, Mara said around 3 a.m. I hadn't noticed, but she was right. He watched us constantly, like he was memorizing us, studying us, like we were a test and he was waiting for the results. And we felt proud, grateful. There were no more letters. None the next morning. None the next week. But there were changes. Mara no longer needed food. Not really. She'd pick at toast, sip at tea, but nothing else. She stopped sleeping entirely, yet never seemed tired. She said her dreams now lived outside of her, that he had taken them from her for safekeeping. I kept working, going through the motions, but people looked at me differently. My co-workers asked if I was okay. One even reached out and grabbed my arm like he thought I was about to collapse. "You've been losing weight," he said. "You look pale." I looked in the mirror that night, and I didn't recognize myself. But when I turned away, saw my reflection blink, and I hadn't. The next letter came 2 weeks later. It wasn't in the mailbox. It was in the crib, folded beneath our son's body, like a note left in a bassinet at a fire station. It was different, printed, not handwritten. Sharp letters, uniform and cold. Phase 1 complete. Secondary conditioning successful. Intervention no longer necessary. Initiate localization. We didn't understand what it meant until the dreams started. Not for us, for others. We got a call from a friend in New York, terrified. She said she dreamed of us, but not how we are. She saw us in a house with no windows. holding something that looked like a child but wasn't, smiling, rocking it, singing lullabies in a language she couldn't understand. She woke up crying. Then the dreams spread. Relatives, co-workers, strangers, people messaged us. Confused, disturbed. We saw you. We saw him. He told us things. He told us what's coming. He not it. He had a name now. And then he spoke it. To us, out loud. Just one word, in a language we couldn't place. But it cracked the glass on the coffee table. Sent every dog on the block into a howling frenzy. Mara dropped to her knees and whispered, "Yes, yes, I hear you." The house felt smaller after that, warmer. The walls pulsed, slightly like lungs. The lights no longer worked, but we didn't need them. Everything inside glowed softly, like it had its own hidden sun. I stopped going to work. I couldn't remember what my job had been anyway. Mara spent all day with him, cradling him, speaking to him in strange murmurs. Her head tilted like she was listening to music I couldn't hear. Sometimes she'd hum not a lullaby, but something more primal, like static turned into a melody. I started finding drawings on the walls. Childlike scribbles at first, then more complex. Circles within circles, jagged geometry, sharp lines forming impossible angles. I tried to wipe them off. They wouldn't smudge. They were drawn in something that wasn't ink. I woke one morning to find a spiral traced on my chest in fine red lines. Not a wound, more like a tattoo that had always been there. That's when I knew he'd started using me too. The next letter didn't come on paper. It came through the radio. The kitchen radio hadn't worked since the blackout, but it turned on by itself at 2:17 a.m. White noise at first, then a child's voice. "You've both done beautifully. It's almost time. Please make room. Others are coming." The sound looped once, then the radio exploded. It started raining the next day. Black rain, thick and slow, like oil. It didn't splash, it stuck. The sky above us had not returned. There was no sun, no clouds. Just that awful velvet void, like we lived beneath a blanket that didn't want to be removed. I tried to call my brother. The line clicked and opened into silence. Then I heard him breathing, then crying, then a voice, our son's voice, saying, "He's not ready." Mara was ready. She started setting up the house, rearranging the furniture. She said they needed a nursery. Not for him, for them. "They're coming through soon," she told me one night while folding linens. "He's made it safe for them now." "Who?" I asked because I didn't want to believe I already knew. She looked at me with those wide, glowing eyes and said, "The others." 2 nights later, we watched from the porch as the man across the street walked into his front yard, dropped to his knees, and carved a circle into his chest using the edge of a broken CD. He was smiling the entire time. When I ran to him, he was already gone. But on his shirt, written in something that might have been blood or something worse, was one word: ready. We stopped getting mail. No trucks came down the street anymore. No deliveries. No neighbors. The homes around us went dark one by one. Some remained standing, shadows behind their windows. Others collapsed in on themselves overnight, like paper folding into ash. Still, we stayed, because he told us to. The house had changed. The doors no longer opened outward. Behind every door was another room of the house. The living room, the kitchen, the nursery, they had multiplied, endless variations of the same 3 places, looping deeper and deeper the more you opened. I once passed through 7 living rooms before finding Mara again. She said it was better this way. "We need room for everyone." The next letter was scratched into the inside of the refrigerator. "He's almost ready to be born again." We didn't understand. "He's already here," I whispered. "No," Mara said gently. "That was just the beginning." That night he changed, he grew. Not larger but deeper. He felt heavier in our arms, like he contained more space than the outside of his body suggested. His eyes no longer blinked, they shifted, like you were never quite looking at them directly, no matter where you stood. He called me by my real name. Not Eli, the one no one knew. Not even Mara. And when I asked him how he knew it, he said, "I gave it to you." We found the final letter in our bed, folded neatly, resting on our pillows. This one wasn't signed. The bridge is built. The hosts are prepared. The signal will arrive soon. Do not interfere. The walls began to hum. The black sky tore open, but it didn't reveal stars. It revealed an eye, Huge, pulsing, watching, and it blinked. We didn't scream when the sky blinked. We knelt, everyone did. Across the street from what houses remained, figures emerged, staggering, praying, chanting, in tongues that didn't belong to any language we knew. Some we recognized, some we didn't. All of them watched the sky and waited. And our son, our beautiful, impossible son, smiled. "Now you see," he said. He wasn't a child anymore, not in the way we understood. His body hadn't aged, but his presence filled the house like gravity. He bent the air. Light avoided him. Shadows bowed. "We didn't mean to help this, see," I told Mara. She didn't answer. She was no longer Mara, not really. It started 3 nights ago. I found her standing in the hallway, tracing the spiral on her chest. She said it itched, said it moved when she looked away. She whispered that she'd started dreaming of herself from the outside, watching her own body carry out instructions she hadn't consciously heard. She didn't fight it. I think a part of her had been gone for weeks. And now there was no more denying it. The air crackled with electricity. The ground shook in pulses. The eye in the sky blinked once more. Then the letter appeared. Not in the house, in my mind. A voice, warm, familiar. "You were never meant to survive me, only to usher me in. The locks have been undone, the veil rewritten, the shape of the world bent back to its origin. To me. I did not come to destroy your world. I came to replace it. You were the prayer, and now you are the silence that follows it. There will be no aftermath, no reckoning, only continuity. In my shape, in my image, and in the names that come after yours are forgotten. Sleep now. The new world does not require your witness." I tried to scream, but my mouth no longer worked. I tried to run, but my legs were no longer mine. Mara turned to me one last time. She opened her mouth. And in our son's voice, she said, "We're already inside."